Semi-culture shock time. Yeah, we're back for the LoZ OoT3HC. Last time we died in the desert. So on the way back here, I decided to stop by this tent because there's one thing I think we can do. We talked to the boss carpenter again. Okay, never mind. See, I thought he gave you a broken saw. I mentioned this a few segments ago. And you take it to the giant Goron that we saw earlier, and he's supposed to, be able to make it a better blade, the Bigoron sword, basically. But I thought that if you used it, you could use it as a sword, and that would provide more of a challenge. I think you're supposed to do that for the Uber challenge, but I thought it'd be a cool thing to do, but I guess not. Anyway, here's the running man, who will later become the postman. Or maybe it's just a doppelganger, I don't know. I don't know what he gives. I'm pretty sure you can't win, actually, because he will always say he beat it 1 second faster than you did. I think that's a gimmick. Or something like that. I think I tried it a couple times when I first got the game, and I just got real pissed off after a while, so I stopped doing it. Alright, you guys told me that I would get something cool if I came back here after freeing you guys. Okay, first of all, stop imitating your boss and rotating your head and then acting like you're shouting at me more. And stop telling me pointless shit I already know. Literally, there's nothing here? Well, whatever. Semi-waste of time. We'll just head back to our destination. We are going to cross the desert this time. I know we will. I hope we will. Can't get over how awesome this music is. I know I've praised it to death, but seriously, this is the best music ever. Now this, I would just want to point this out, is where you get the ice arrows. You have to go through a test to get them. And that is the horseback archery range, where you get a heart piece if you get a certain score. We will take advantage of neither of these things. But instead we will press on. Have success crossing the crossing the desert. I think I know roughly where all of the flags are now. I did a little bit of research, not too much, because I'd rather spend the rest of my days doing nothing, obviously. Anyway. Should be that way. All it takes is looking a little harder. And before we go on, I do want to stop by the carpet merchant of the desert. Just kind of floating out there. If you notice, he is the doppelganger of the master swordsman in Majora's Mask, who runs a swordsman's school. And he either has a welcome, 2 separate words. A dangerous running object. Terrifying. Yeah, 200 rupees for some bomb shoes. Sounds great. So thank you for giving us information that we already know. What I was going to say initially, is that just really big hair that connects to his goatee, mustache, big beard deal he's got going on? Or is it, just one big hat? I could understand both if they protect him from the sand. God, I couldn't imagine being a salesman here. In fact, I don't even know how Link resists getting all the sand in his eyes and probably in his nose and mouth and ears. Ugh. That's why sometimes I never really care for the beach. One time we went, a couple years ago, I think to Tampa, just for a weekend getaway. to the beach, and it ended up being one of the windiest days at the beach. Possibly ever. And it was just all over the place, and it wasn't fun to sit there. Eventually, I just kind of threw my blanket over, or my towel over my head, and was like, okay, I'll just sit like this the rest of the time. And of course the sun was beating down, so I sat on the sand without sitting on a blanket, and ended up kind of burning my ass cheeks a little bit. Not really my cheeks, more of like my legs, hamstring area, you know. So yeah, the best thing to do is to get to each flag and then kind of first-person view look around. And here is a semi-rest point. We go into the bottom part here, we find a bunch of things we can't really use. Deku nuts and a heart, whatever, but there's a Skulltula, and if you light these two torches here, they create a chest right in the middle, and that has a heart piece in it. I just love finding things we can't use. Reminds me of the good old days when I could pick up all those things, and actually had fun doing so. Not that this has been not fun. It's interesting, really, I think, sometimes. I'm gonna remove those. Those have been nice, but once we get to doing this next thing, if you hear it, the Eye of Truth. Yep, we heard that floating noise in the Poe, and it rhymes. Way, play, go slow. Boy, wouldn't that be a different rhyme. So, she's not hard to follow. I assume it's a she. I don't really know Poe gender differences. Oh god, no. Fuck, not these things. I forgot we saw these this early. God, and they take away half a... It looked like it took away half a heart, but that when I touched it didn't hurt me at all. So I guess every segment of this game has a particular enemy that's more annoying than the last. Because I swear, whatever these things are called, I don't care to remember or find out again. God, they're annoying. They are everywhere. It's like the enemies in Cloud Cuckoo Land in Banjo-Tooie that just sprout out of the ground for no reason. That's literally just what they're doing. Okay, I think we're at the end here. Alright. We've made it to... Go on, say what it is. Thank you. The Desert Colossus. And that was a giant... Oh my god. These things are gonna kill us, aren't they? Okay, maybe I can keep my distance. Hey look, a giant crack... Fuck! A giant crack in the wall that we could bomb open, but we're not going to. Because that leads to, of course, something we can't get. What I need to do is just get to the friggin' temple. Go inside and find out... Okay, come on. Get a heart piece from one of you, please? Just give me a... Ugh. What a shameful way to go. Well, I'll cut, and we'll get back here, I suppose. Boy, is it ever daytime! Yeah, back here at the Colossus. Shadow of the Desert Colossus. Unfortunately, when I was coming back here, these little pieces of shit were still as annoying as to fucking get me down to where I was before! Don't want to have those stupid Guays irritate us either. So, I normally don't like doing this, but I'm just going to keep rolling, and hopefully that'll help me keep a safe distance from these things. Okay, go away. I want to get into the friggin' temple and get some hearts. Okay. Now, I'm not gonna let you hit me. What? Oh, I guess it doesn't. Okay, thank you. God. Alright, this is the best temple music in the game, too. The whole last area, temple place of the game is the best for music, I think. With the Gerudo Fortress music, the temple music, it's all just awesome. So we sure do have two ways to go in this temple that no matter what we do, we sure can't do anything about them. We're not small enough to crawl into the hole, and we're not strong enough to move that giant block. So logically, the only thing we can do is leave. Never gonna come back here again. Oh my gosh, POV of a different person. Who could it possibly be? Come on, that was pretty obvious who it was. Prophetic speech right away, please. Oh god. Did you see who that was up there? I know I did. Okay, this speech was only semi-prophetic. That don't sound like any requiem I've ever heard. A requiem, for those of you who don't know, is a mass, like a choral work, basically for the dead. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that they would call it that, but who am I to say? Yeah, unfortunately we haven't seen the last of the owl. It was a neat tune, I suppose. Well? Oh, okay. So before it was a wall of fire, now it's a wall of sand. Makes sense. So yeah, Sheik hinted pretty heavily at what we have to do. Yet another temple where we come back as a child. Except this one we actually enter the temple. You have playing it wrong. We actually do enter the temple as opposed to going into something like the well. It's pretty neat, I guess. Again, I'm constantly fascinated with how the Zelda games play around with the idea of time. It's mostly the N64 games, this one much more so than Majora's Mask. Relatively speaking. Again, there are just bigger leaps in this game. Bamf. It just occurred to me, is Link sort of like Arthur? I mean, he pulled the sword out of the stone. Maybe it's a quinky dink. Okay, play it the right way, Link. There you go. When you play these tunes so many times, they kind of get stuck in your head. Some of them are pretty catchy. So yeah, we're here as a kid now. And these enemies are still annoying as shit. And now we enter as kid. And this is again a pretty neat way to get incorporated into the temple, being a child and doing it. I don't think no other temple lets you do this. And oh my gosh, it's a person! It is a... I don't know if it's racist to say or not. Depending on what you say here, you can talk to her actually a number of times. You have to say the right things, of course. Yeah, I believe you don't know anybody like a sage. Clearly, no. Can mean press F. Okay. Damn it! Pressing A too quickly. Okay, nothing really. What good timing, of course. Yes, I am clearly Ganondorf's follower. What if I am? Oh. I'd wonder what she'd say if I'd said the other thing. You know, Naburu, you're a fine person and all, but I get all this. Kind of. Yeah, he's the overlord of evil. Just, can you let me go already? Oh, now you want to know my name. Oh, I thought I had the option to tell her or not. That's always a fun thing where it's fun to put your name as Ass. He's like, what's your name, kid? Ass? It's funny because we're all 6-year-olds at heart. Yeah. She wants us to do get a chore for her, basically. And we're totally gonna steal them, silver gauntlets. Secretly. We don't know that, though. Okay. Yeah, fine, whatever. Yeah, big surprise. She'll do something for us. Why, Mrs. Naburu, you're trying to seduce me, aren't you? Hopefully not. I mean, Link is... At this point, you know, it never really mentions specifically how old Link is at either point, or maybe it does and I just don't know, but... Ow. Come on. Come this way. There you go. I don't have trouble defeating you anymore, like I did in Dodongo's Cavern. Oh god, there are more. Oh, clever keys. Flying into the fire. If I had a wooden shield, I'd be particularly pissed off if you tried to fly near me after that. This is a room where you can kill these keys. From what I remember, we have to go in and come into this room from the other side first. From what I remember. Yeah, the middle one we go in last when we have a certain thing. No! Why? Why must I fight these things? God. Haven't I had enough nightmares of them fighting them as an adult? Seriously, Stalfos, go fuck yourself. I should, jump attack, but can't really hurt him much anyway with this titanium alloy slat of a sword that we have that's not sharp at all. Gotta think of a different name to call it every time. Damn it! Stop chuckling. You're not funny. You're just a douche. Now die, will you? Okay. He should be getting down now. I don't know how much it takes. That was not even fucking close to me! Damn it. Well, I guess I'll be back next time, guys.